What's up, Team Jazzy? It's your girl, Jazzy J, and I am back with another mukbang. So today's true crime is about H. Holmes, which is the America's Most Notorious. He was the first serial killer in America and a freaking narcissist. I am so ready to get into this. I call all of my subscribers Team Jazzy, so if you would like to be a part of the mafia, all you have to do is subscribe to this channel and turn your post notifications on so that you never miss another video. Give this video a big thumbs up because we will be mukbanging some saucy rigatoni noodles. Like, when I say this thing is so big, it's a big cast iron skillet. Oh my God, it's so big. Okay, I'm going to pray because I'm hungry and I'm ready to get into this story. Dear Heavenly Father, I thank you for the food that I'm about to receive. I ask that it may be nourishment to my body. I ask that you bless the hands that are prepared and bless my entire team, Jazzy. Amen. So what are y'all eating for dinner? I love Italian anything. Anything Italian. Oh, this looks so good. And I'm extra hungry today. Extra. How my dad said, I'm extra hungry. Because I was at the gym this morning. Y'all know how that go. You be starving later on. I've never had these type of noodles. Honestly, it's all good to me. Some people, like, they'd rather be picky. Their noodle have to be a certain way, like the spaghetti noodle or the fettuccine noodle. Like, I really don't care. But my mom never cooked with rigatoni noodles. So it's none I was used to. And I was thinking like, why not? I be trying to switch stuff up. All right, let's get into the story. This man was a whole narcissist. And y'all know I'm into the childhood of it, right? And it was hard to find something that bad about his childhood. But I don't care. With it being so old, like this was in the 1800s, it was so normal to abuse children as a form of punishment. Nowadays, you'll go to jail. But I really believe that's the reason why we have a lot of serial killers in our history, is because that was the normal punishment. This is so good. I used the vegan meat. And seasoned it really good. It tastes like pork sausage to me. So this man was born like 1861. I was gonna add my favorite vegan cheese, but I didn't have enough to like spread it out. Like I need lots of cheese in order to cover this whole thing. Like this little camera ain't doing nothing. This thing is huge. I wish y'all could see how big it is. Okay. So Holmes was born in 1861. And so they say he had a pretty decent childhood. I don't believe that. One of the things that stuck out was when he was about 13, some bullies dragged him into a doctor's office and made him see like a dead body that was like a skeleton. It was a real skeleton. And they did it to be mean so that they can scare him. Baby boy wasn't scared. He was actually fascinated by it. Like, you know? And a lot of people say that's what opened up. That's what unlocked him becoming a serial killer. So, fast forward, when he turned 16, he fell in love to a beautiful woman named Clara. Clara was also 16. But they were moving so fast that they wanted to get married. They didn't care how old they were. And about a year later, when they were 17, they got married and they just didn't tell their parents. They didn't tell nobody. When Holmes, that's his last name. His name is actually Henry Mudgett, but he eventually changed his name to Holmes, which is what everybody knows him as. So I'm going to be saying Holmes, not Henry. Holmes eventually told his mother that he was married, and his mother told him, well, she did a bad job at picking her husband. She's going to need to support you. Here we go. And at 16, 17, you're still a baby. You're still a kid. I'm pretty sure that was hard to hear from your mother. Okay. So they find out Clara is pregnant. And Clara's father was like, oh no, you're going to have to get a job getting my daughter pregnant. So Clara's dad got Holmes a job working at a grocery store with the rest of the family. And Holmes found out very quickly that he don't want to be a grocery clerk. Once the baby got here, let's say his baby was his motivation. He wanted to go to medical school. which was a good idea for him, because when he was bullied into the skeleton room, he was actually fascinated with the human body, not scared. So he got under like an internship. And the doctor's office that he ended up being under was the same place that he got bullied at to look at the skeletons. So when he went to medical school, Claire moved back in with her family. Claire and the baby did. And he went to medical school. And he wasn't telling nobody he was married with a baby. And he fell in love with another woman. And it was the daughter of his landlord. And his roommate snitching, gonna tell the landlord, hey, Holmes is really married. Holmes is married with a baby. You know that, right? And the landlord was like, no, he's engaged to my daughter. The roommate was like, And they beat Holmes up really, really bad. Then they tried to kick him. They tried to get him kicked out of the school because they said he had a dead baby under his bed. And he told them, no, it's for homework. It's my homework because I have to dissect the body. So it's just my homework. It was crazy, right? So he switches dorms and he lives at a different place. But he's still in hair school. He's still in medical school. So him and all his classmates come up with this idea. Like they were like joking about it. Because they always had to dissect real bodies. Like the people that when they die, before they die, they sign something saying like, you can use my body for experiments and stuff like that to save the world and to all that. And so they was using those bodies in medical school. And the friends would be like, yo, we could create a birth certificate and then create a death certificate and then take this body to the funeral home and collect some insurance on a dead body, and we can make a person up like with the birth certificate. And they laughed at it, and then that was that. So right before Holmes graduate from medical school, this woman comes out of nowhere, another woman, and was like, went to the school and was like, that man, do not let him graduate. He said that he was going to marry me and he didn't. He broke a promise. And back then, that was actually a law. It was called breach of promise. And you was not allowed to hit it and quit it. Like, imagine that. Imagine being able to go to the police and be like, he played me. He chased me down for 6 months. He was applying pressure for 6 months. And then he hit and ran. Take him to jail. Imagine that. That was how it was. And he denied it to the school. And so they still let him graduate. Well, after graduation, he went to his professor and was like, the lady that claimed all that was telling the truth. Right, no, you got away with it, you know? But to rub it in somebody's face, like, you know, I don't know. Headed for destruction. The green peppers are so good in here. I'm like literally looking for the green peppers because I want them in each bite. That's how good they are. Okay. So in 1884, after graduating, he moved back home. He ended up proposing to another woman, but this woman was smart. She was mentally intelligent, she was emotionally intelligent, and she was not pressed for no man. She was not desperate for no man. She was like, you're handsome, you know how to talk, you're smart, you're a doctor, but there's something about you that don't sit right with me. Like, you give me weird vibes as if you would really murder somebody. So he became a school teacher. My name Bennett, I ain't in it. After medical school, he became a school teacher, and he became notorious for not paying people back. His debt was so high, like even a train ticket. Somehow he finessed them, and he could travel from A to B and not end up paying and get away with it. It's sad because this man's smart, but people rather use their smart for evil. So in 1866, he just randomly took the bar test and he passed it so that he could be a doctor. And he moved away, and he changed. That's when he changed his name to H. Holmes, which stands for Henry Howard Holmes. And so, better yet known as H. Holmes. Okay, and just when you think this man is already smart, just get comfortable. So, he moves to Chicago. Lord, my phone is buzzing. So he moved to Chicago and he got married again. Now he ain't, let me remind you, he ain't divorced none of these women, but yet you're still marrying. Like, how is that possible? Just all jacked up, honey. So he married this other lady in Chicago, and he found a couple. He also became friends with a married couple who trusted him enough to sell him their pharmacy. They ran a pharmacy, and he was a doctor. He just passed the bar. Nobody knew him, and they like, here, take it. And he got their pharmacy, and all the ladies was coming, honey. Like, he was a ladies' man. All them women was flocking over there, just bunny hopping to the pharmacy because they want to see what this new doctor about. So then the money he was making at the pharmacy, he put that, and he purchased a vacant lot to build a 2-story building. And the first floor would be retail shops, and then the second floor would be apartments to rent out. So it just seemed like he could not hire the right people for these jobs. Like, he would hire somebody and they would do something wrong, like the beam. The one beam is shorter than the other. He's like, no, I want this done right. And in the middle of them working, he ain't play no games, okay? In the middle of them working, he'd be like, you're fired. Goodbye. Get up out of here. And they're like, what? And he's like, you're doing this wrong. He's, get out. Lawyers started coming after him. And he's like, well, I'm not reliable because he was like, actually, my mother-in-law is the owner of this building. This man could get out of literally anything. He was very strategic. And the furniture that he had already bought, them people was coming back like, you quit making your payments. We coming to get this furniture because you haven't made a payment yet. And he was like, okay, you could get it. But I want to let you know, if you mess up anything, if I have a mark on my wall from you taking this furniture out of here, I'm going to sue you, and you're going to wish that you just would have left the furniture here. They like, okay. They try to get this furniture out the building. All the furniture that he had purchased, you know, they couldn't get not one piece of furniture out this building because the walls that he had built over top of this furniture, there was no way possible. And you know, I'm trying to imagine that, like a couch getting out of a door, it's very simple. Is the door small? Like literally only a body could get through, or a sideways body could get through? Like how is this building was made? But the building was like a freaking maze because, excuse me, so many workers was coming in, doing stuff halfway, and then he would make them stop and fire them. So he was so in love with his new building. He ain't have time for the pharmacy. He sold it. He was like, somebody else can have this pharmacy because my passion is in my retail business, my property, my apartments at the top. Like, he was into that. And so somebody bought it. The deal went good. And soon, it probably was a couple weeks later, all the stuff at the pharmacy place started getting repossessed because Holmes never made no payments on anything at the pharmacy, including the floor tile. Like, yo, I was reading this like I'm speechless. I'm speechless that there is really people like this. Like, have I been that sheltered my whole life? Yo, he was the finessing king, okay? A married couple moved into one of his apartments, and by the end of it all, they was getting a divorce because the wife and Holmes was together. And the man moved away, and nobody ever saw the woman and her daughter ever again. It was weird, but they definitely got a divorce because Holmes was, you know, he was into the married woman. So all of a sudden, a piece of the building catches on fire, and Holmes tried to get money from it, but they found out that it was actually him who set it on fire. So they was like, no, they denied giving money to him. So he packs up and moved away. And I think he moved away because the police was on him. Like, when you file a claim like that and come to find out you did it, like, you look like you look like a fraud. And so the police gonna question that. And I really think he was trying to run away. That's why he moved away. So he ended up moving to Philadelphia, and that's when he found him a younger woman. She was 23 years old, and she was living off of her family's inheritance. Yo, my phone is busting right now. Like, that's why I keep looking at my phone. But did you hear what I said? Like, are these women even attractive anymore? Because it seems like you have one goal in mind, and that's to use these women for money. He's literally just out here, like, finessing everybody. So he ends up making a friend named Benjamin. And Benjamin was notorious for check fraud. He's been in and out of jail, and as soon as he got out of jail, Benjamin and Holmes decided to partnership and buy them a building, the same building that Holmes had. Well, once they collected the mortgage loans, like they pulled all these mortgage loans, like thousands of dollars in mortgage loans. Once they collected all this money, they both ran off on the building. So at this point, they just like partners in crimes. Like they had plans, and they pay into insurance premiums to fake their death one day. And you know, Holmes, big homie Holmes, don't care about his family. But Benjamin was like, I got 5 kids and a wife. Let her know I'm about to fake my death. So Benjamin was like, hey, FYI, I'm about to disappear. But if anybody tells you that I died, don't believe it. I'm going to fake my death so we can get some money. And the wife was not happy about this. She was like, I don't think this is a good idea. You always in trouble, but I need the money. So, okay. So one day, the insurance company called Benjamin's wife to let her know that Benjamin had died. She was just like, okay, like, you know, she knew that it was fake. And she got $10,000. So Holmes shows up to Benjamin's wife's house, and he said, hey, your husband is in hiding. I don't know if you heard, but he faked his death. And she's like, yeah, I know, I got the money. It was $10,000. And so Holmes was like, all right, well, I'm gonna need about $7,500 of it to take back to him. He also wants to see your kids. He's missing them, but he's in hiding. And so she's like, okay. So she gives Holmes $75,000 and 3 of her children, and they leave. So in 1895, what do you know? The police finally caught up with Holmes, and they convicted him of Benjamin's death. Benjamin had actually died. One day, Benjamin called Holmes and said he did not want to fake his death anymore. He getting cold feet. Holmes was like, come over, let's talk about it. And Holmes poisoned him, beat his body up real bad, made it look like an accident, and then called the insurance people. But because the wife was still alive, the money went to the wife. And that's what made him go to Holmes. That's what made him go to her house to say, hey, he's in hiding. He wants to see his kids, and $7,500 of it. And he ended up killing all 3 of those kids. Later on in jail, he admitted to killing 27 people. They were all in his hotel, apartment, whatever that was, which was all a part of the plan of firing the workers that was doing the construction of his building, because it was like stairs running into a wall. So anybody that he was holding hostage, when they think they're getting away, they were running into dead walls everywhere. The whole building was a maze. Then he ends up killing 3 of his friends' daughters. And one of them he killed in the trunk and put a hole in the trunk, put gas in there. He was poisoning some people. He even told the police, he was like, yeah, I let one just starve. I just locked her in a room and let her starve. Like, serial killer, narcissist. And the day that he got the lethal injection, he said, I did not kill Benjamin or none of his children. I killed 27 people, and it's already done, so I'm not going to apologize. Post notification goes to... Thank you so much for having your post notifications on. Shout out to you for being the first to comment on the last video. If you would like a shout out, all you have to do is be the first to comment on the next video. If you would like to see more true crime videos, then click right here. If you would like to subscribe to this channel so that you never miss another video, then click right here. I love you, and I will see you guys in the next mukbang.